Welcome back to Quick Chat in the Cadillac Season 2. Okay, my name is SG. I like to explore the simplicity of complexity. If you don't know, this is my show where I break it down for you both real and quick. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Also, full episodes is on YouTube. If you go to my playlist, you can see Season 1 and Season 2 is separate. If you haven't seen Season 1, please do, because it's going to help your ass out. And if you haven't seen Season 2, shit, we starting anew. So go ahead and listen to that shit as well. Today's discussion is going to include a little something called composure. All right, back in the day, I had this buddy, and this buddy has a father, and the father told this buddy, he gave him some advice. He said, son, you should never lose your composure. As a man, as an individual, composure is going to be the thing that carries you throughout your life. And I believe to this day that is very wise advice to have, because as much as I like to crash out every now and then, composure is the key to consistent and sustainable progress. Now, for all them people out there who like to assign things where they don't belong, composure is, in fact, a gender-neutral asset. Anybody can have and benefit from composure. Now, I'm not talking about being nonchalant as fuck all the time. I'm talking about being composed. See, composure is something that keeps you cool, it keeps you level, it keeps you consistent, reliable, and easy to count on. What's that word? Dependable. But as time goes on and you experience and encounter new, things in life, it's going to be difficult for you to constantly maintain composure. All right, it's going to be variations in your emotionality as long as you're going through things with the right state of mind, which is not complete and utter detachment, but detachment enough for you to keep your composure. That just means not being overly attached to any one thing, place, or person. Okay, there's definitely a middle ground between the two poles of completely detached and completely attached. But today we talk about composure, so pay the fuck attention. See, composure is one of those things that's going to have you in a bind every now and then. See, because when you are composed, there's a lot of things in this world in general that are meant to destroy you or just knock you off your pivot, take you down a couple pegs, whatever you want to say. If you don't want to use such drastic language as destroy, I like to say destroy. There are things in this world that are set out and their intention behind it is to destroy you, whether it's a little bit or a lot of it. And those kind of things need a reaction out of you in order to do so. At least in order to feel justified in doing so, in order to feel like they're not wasting their time in doing so. And these are the moments where composure will be your best friend, because composure deprives these entities, energies, people, places, and things that are trying to destroy you, deprives them of a reaction. And now they're sitting there questioning themselves like, damn, now I feel dumb because I just tried to get a reaction out of them. And they just stayed composed as fuck. And now I don't know what to do because is this even worth my time? And blah, blah, existential crisis bullshit. Okay? Composure gonna help you through that. But also, composure prevents you from making decisions without a level head or a clear focus or a clear mind, a clear line of thinking. These are all things that composure provides to you. So my buddy's friend's dad was definitely correct when he said every man needs to have composure. But I believe every woman needs to have composure as well. It's just the tough fucking thing to come by, especially in those moments when you are all over the board. Whether it's way high or way low, composure is going to make sure you stay cool. Like when in the instance that you're doing really, really well, everything is going good for you. Remaining composed is what's going to prevent the increased amount of people trying to destroy you, or at least minimize it. You see, because when you're doing good, the people who ain't doing so good is going to try to bring you back down. Crabs in a barrel, crabs in a bucket, whatever you want to say, fuck it. It's just the people that get so jealous and envious, instead of putting in the work to actually elevate themselves, they decide to claw and scrape and scratch your ass all the way back down to the barrel with them at the bottom. Fuck that shit. But if you stay composed, they may never even know that you're up there until you way out of reach. And then what the fuck is they gonna do? Because the only way for them to get to you is for them to climb their ass up out of there too. And by the time they get up there, shit, why would they waste any time trying to bring you down when they could just keep climbing higher? That shit don't make no motherfucking sense. So composure saves you on both ends of the spectrum. Whether you're doing very well, it makes sure shit. People ain't, they ain't too wise to the level of well that you're doing, and now they can't scrape and scratch and claw you all the way back down. On the flip side, if you ain't doing so hot, composure is gonna allow you to make decisions that are still rash, so you can bring yourself up out of this rock bottom, up out of this cavern, back to a point of regulation. You gotta flow on your frequency. Okay. It's pretty simply put, that's what composure does. And obviously, when you're at a baseline, a consistent level, when you continue remaining composed, you're going to continue making progress. People just going to respect you because you are dependable, reliable. The only thing that's bad about being, stuck in this state of way too consistent is there's potential for stagnancy. There's potential for, there's a lack of potential pretty much. Because if you always stuck right here, and that's where composure becomes dangerous, because you can't let your composure turn to complacency, right? You can't care too much, but you can't care too little to the point where shit just don't make no difference to you, because you'll eventually end up back towards rock bottom again. So composure doesn't mean never showing emotion. Composure does not mean letting every emotion fly. Composure is somewhere in the middle. Think about it like this. The word compose means to create, musically at least. That's how I look at it. So if you think about composition, the people who is composing shit, like Mozart and Bach and everyone else who's ever made a song that has sounds attached to it layered on top of other sounds, that's composing. And the best songs have a good balance. Even when they go very, very high in emotion, they'll bring it down very, very low in emotion and bring it back up high. But the dynamic ranges is correlated to what it's supposed to be. It remains composed. You can see the intentionality, the thought process behind it remains consistent. Even if it isn't consistent, it's intentional. So with your composure, it needs to be consistent at least, and if it can't be consistent at the very minimal amount, it needs to be intentional. All right, that's what composure is. See, and the opposite of composure is impulse. Whether it's impulse one way or another, it's definitely impulse. Impulse is a force outside of you. Let me say that again. It's not instinct, it's impulse. Impulse is a force outside of you. Some sort of external influence that's pushing you in a direction that you may not even want to go. And it's the opposite of composure, because composure intentionally focuses on what they're doing. Intentionally decides, this is what I'm going to do, this is where I'm going to go, etc., etc. Composure does that. Impulsive thoughts, impulsive thinking. You see these a lot of times in drinkers. They'll let the alcohol take control of them, but really all that's happening is they're letting their impulsive thoughts and feelings and actions get the best of them consistently. And maybe you could say, oh, well, their motor control sensors are depressed and they don't make good decisions. So fuck that. There's some drinkers out here who will put down 100,000 drinks and still remain composed. There's some drinkers out here who just let the alcohol get the best of them. And I'm not going to say too much about the addiction itself and alcohol and a drug and blah, blah, blah. All I'm going to say is this. Look, composure is something that you can build. So if you're in a state even where your composure may be weakened, don't you think the more that you had built it to that point, it gets you a higher baseline to where it might be weakened too, or the level it might be weakened too? So have your composure ready and available. And if you are not someone who's composed, that's all right. The beautiful thing about life is you can always improve things about yourself, especially when it comes to your personality and your character. So keep it composed, man. Work on that shit. Sometimes you're going to feel high. Sometimes you're going to feel low. This is things that we all know. Even sometimes you may feel right in the middle. You don't feel shit. But either way, keep it composed is going to allow you to navigate the channels of life with the right the right instincts, with a clear thought, with a clear focus. And that's invaluable. You can't put a price on that. A lot of people are so lost, and that's their whole issue. They don't know who to follow, who to guide, so they just look for the coolest or the most appealing person to them and just try to follow them. No. It comes from within. It comes from within, family, but you can't listen to the voice within if you're not composed, right? If you're not composed, the instrument that's telling you is leading the direction of the melodies. All the other instruments are just going to be too loud, and now you don't got a song. You just got a bunch of fucking noise. But if you quiet it down, compose a little bit, arrange things around, control the dynamic levels, well shit, now you got a song, now you got a tune, something to work with, something to bop to, something to rap on. It don't fucking matter. The point being, composure is very important, and you should seek it so that you can find what you desire to have. Peace!